Well, with those cold months well underway, lots of people are heating their homes to stay warm. If it's not done properly, though, you may have to deal with the worst case scenario, your home going up in flames. Joining me now to help you avoid that situation is Fire Marshal George Adams with the Columbia Fire Department. Thank you so much for being here today. This is a really important topic, and a lot of people, as I mentioned, are starting to heat up their homes. So what are some of those similar mistakes that you see people tend to make?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me today. Well, the first thing, anytime when you're using heaters, the first thing you want to do is make sure you read the manufacturer's instructions. And oftentimes on the instructions, they will tell you that you want to plug those heaters directly into an outlet, and you don't want to plug them into an extension cord or any type of surge protector.
Okay,
so first and foremost, just understand the manufacturer's specification.
All right. One thing I know that the Columbia Fire Department has responded to 2 fires in just the past few days where there was a breach in the chimney. So you kind of explain what could cause that. You know, if people don't even know what that is, how would you explain it to them?
So when you have a chimney, it's important that the chimney is inspected by a certified technician once a year. It's called a chimney sweep. That way they will get the soot and all the debris out and all the buildup. So it's very important that is done once a year. So the air quality, the indoor air quality will be sufficient and airflow can flow properly.
Okay. And when it comes to fireplaces as well, you know, what certain steps should people take to ensure that their fireplaces are safe?
Yeah, just making sure that the fireplace has a protective screen where any embers will fall out that can potentially start a fire. So it just need to have some type of protective screen.
All right. And aside from, obviously, we've touched on fireplaces, chimneys, some people tend to use space heaters as well. Any tips that you would like to give people to avoid any bad situations?
Sure. And then quite often, you know, we are aware that, you know, space heaters and it's said space. So it's important that we have 3 feet around those space heaters from anything that can burn, curtains, bedding, anything that can burn, any paper. That way, if it has the proper space, then the potential of it catching fire is less likely. Also, with space heaters, it's important that you do not leave those space heaters unattended and that you do not sleep when those space heaters are on. We know that most fires occur between the hours of 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. and most time people are sleeping during those hours.
Yeah.
And, you know, if a fire occurs during those hours, it can be difficult for them to escape.
Would you say that the department does tend to see more fires of these types related to heating mechanisms in the winter months as opposed to summer months?
Yeah, most fires, in terms of residential fires, occur during the winter months when the weather is cold, associated with the cold weather. So yes, we see most residential fires in the winter months for heating fires.
When the department has responded to even some of these recent ones that have, you know, been due to issues with the chimney or various things like that, what is a message you almost want to get out to people in the community to let them know we don't want this to be you? Like, what's the message you'd want them to know?
Well, you know, first and foremost, make sure that you understand what you're doing. Education is very important, and then have an emergency preparedness plan. Make sure that you know what to do in the event of a fire. Make sure that you have a working smoke alarm, and if you're using anything that's unvented like a fireplace, make sure that you have a CO detector on every level of the house.
All right. For anyone out there who may not have that fire safety plan, or maybe as a new homeowner, what would you want them to have a conversation about their family with?
So if you do not have a plan for your family, you can call us at area code 803-545-3701, and our public fire education officer will sit down and help you develop a plan for you and your family.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We were able to share a good handful of those tips with you as well on your screen. So just be sure to stay safe when you're heating your home in these winter months. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Stick with us. We have more Midday coming up right after this break.